Welcome to Lifestyle Buzz Today with Orlando. Fresh, innovative, entertaining talk about topics we are all in one way or another involved with. And now, here's your host, Orlando Burgos.
Well, hello, Earthlings. Welcome to Lifestyle Buzz, the definite antidote to silly thinking, okay? Often imitated, never duplicated. But we are the connection to better living, and that's the way we happen to be. With me today, my great friend, Michael.
I'm happy to be here. Happy Sunday to everybody out there.
Same, yep. We're going to be wishing everybody a great time here. Has it been are you a religious person? Has it been a religious week for you?
Not necessarily, and because it's funny. I was talking about this with some people earlier because I was kind of raised in a mixed religious household, where my mom's side of the family was Catholic and my dad's side of the family was Jewish.
Okay,
and so I was kind of raised more in like a secular manner. We still celebrated, both Judeo-Christian holidays such as Easter, Christmas, Hanukkah, and whatnot. But no, we weren't necessarily a church-going family.
Well, I was raised a Catholic. My daughters were raised Catholic. My wife is Catholic, and we happen to be probably not the best examples for Christians because we really seldom go to church and stuff like that. Now, my youngest daughter got married to a Jewish man. So we've been, ever since they've been together, we've been celebrating the Jewish holidays as well, And I have to tell you one thing, that it opens up a lot of eyes and opens up the heart to many different things.
Yeah, because so much about religion is not necessarily the spiritual aspect, more the cultural aspect.
Yeah. We don't really, the other day somebody said, "Oh my God, you're eating a hamburger." Well, yeah, come on. My God will forgive me. I hope anyway. So this week we have for us Christians, we have been celebrating Holy Week, which I have to tell you one thing. When I was a kid, we used to celebrate it very, very religious. My mom was always taking part in the daily processions in the town that we lived at and stuff like that, while the rest of the family went to the beach, and they used to close all the bars. All the bars were closed in the town where we're at, but the back door was always open. It's where they did more business. Everybody went through the back door and everything was fine. Okay. Things at the border are not doing all that well, and on this week that is more religious, I think we need to send a little bit of a prayer for the people that have bought into the hoax, I'm going to say, about coming over and jumping the border and all that type of stuff. These people are in danger, and as a Latino, I really feel it in my heart that we need to do something about it, and I just don't know what, but I really think the solution is in their own homes. It's not at the border here, and I wish them the very best. We're going to be talking about baseball. Baseball went political anyway, so let's take a little bit of a break, and when we come back, we're going to be having a little bit of fun. We'll be right back.
My name is Lily. My mom and dad used to fight about money all the time. Then one day, I heard them talking about this guy, some uncle I never knew, called Uncle Sam. Well, they say this Uncle Sam guy wanted them to pay him like $1 gazillion, and they didn't have $1 gazillion. So they called this company they heard on the radio called the Tax Doctor. And the Tax Doctor worked with Uncle Sam's people. I think they're called the IRS. And they were able to work it out so my mom and dad didn't have to pay Uncle Sam very much money at all. So now mom and dad are happy, and I'm happy too. Thanks, Tax Doctor.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, call now and pay less. 800-391-8713. 800-391-8713. That's 800-391-8713.
All right, welcome back. And like I said before, this week it's actually a dual celebration because in the Jewish faith is celebrate Passover.
Yeah, Passover was last week. Yeah.
So it goes what, the week before, and
It varies year to year. You know, it's based on I think a different calendar. It's based on like a lunar calendar, and so just like Easter is different kind of every year, so is Passover.
All right. Now Passover happens to be the celebration of the Jews or the Israelites leaving
Egypt.
Yeah. So okay, all right.
Yeah, it's celebrated as the traditional Passover Seder, which is kind of the traditional meal you'd have for Passover. And so there's all different sorts of rituals. There's bitter herbs to represent the tears of the slaves. All sorts of kind of metaphors and imagery. But basically it's to celebrate or not even celebrate, but just to remember and remark when the Israelites left the yoke of the Pharaoh's bondage in Egypt and then began their 40 years in the desert.
And the birth of Charlton Heston. And look what he ended up as. Great actor. Anyway, cannot make fun of that. You know what? For those of us in the Christian faith, it is the highest holiday for us. Although
Easter is. You're saying Easter?
The Holy Week.
Oh, Holy Week. Okay.
The Holy Week, yeah. It's not only the Easter part, but I grew up in Costa Rica until I was, 9, 8, something like that. And it was like everything went dead in the cities. I mean, that's it. And every day there would be a procession of, they tried to do like all the steps. The Sunday that celebrates Passover is actually Christ entering into Jerusalem to celebrate the freeing of the Israelites, right? So from that week on, then there's always the steps that lead up to the crucifixion, okay? And I remember that for me as a kid, it was like, oh my God, that's it. Because there was no sports. We could not go out and play soccer. We could not go to the river, nothing. It was, especially my mom, she was a very religious type person, so it was always walk to the church, spent a lot of time there, eat sardines like crazy. And the only good thing about that is that then you have a bunch of sardine cans that you can make boats go to the river with, But anyway, a lot of people don't quite understand what the celebration is all about. So let's have a little fun. Let's have a little bit of a breakdown here. It used to be only that Thursday and Friday were celebrated. Then the rest of the days started adding up. They added Wednesday, which is the day when Judas made the deal to sell Christ. Thursday was
that rat bastard.
I know, yeah. He should be in jail, But I mean, in those days, I guess treason and manipulating people and all that was the name of the game.
It was 30 pieces of silver, right?
That's it. What would that be worth today?
Oh,
$30 million,
Might be worth it.
I know. But anyway, so the entire week is all about leading up to the crucifixion on Thursday, the crucifixion is on Friday, the Last Supper is on Thursday, the crucifixion on Friday, the burial on Saturday, and today we actually celebrate the resurrection, right? Yeah. So, I mean, everywhere, you know that there's parts in Mexico that they take it so seriously that the faithful actually they go on their knees for miles, and some of them actually flog themselves with I don't know.
Yeah, and some of them actually will carry a very large cross.
Yes,
hundreds of pounds in a cross, and will carry it, across great distances.
Yeah, I mean, I never been able to understand that part. I mean, I understand. A long time ago, one of my cousins was very, very ill, and my uncle made the promise that to carry her weight, up from a long distance too, on the streets, on his knees, up the steps to the cathedral, and the length of the cathedral as a show of help, asking for help, I really don't know how to take that. I mean, I guess you have to really believe that that's going to do the trick, huh?
Yeah, I think, I'm just, postulating here that it's symbolic of Christ's own struggle and sacrifice.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And, it's a sign of faith, I guess.
I was raised, I went through all the rituals, the communion, the confirmation, all that. And I do follow it, but the same token, I think I'm also very grounded, earthly, like, I've seen too much that I also question the religion sometimes.
Yeah, the mysticism can be a little bit weird, especially now for us as, we are in a scientifically, technologically advanced state. But yeah, like I said before, it's not necessarily about, the actual words on the page or anything like that. A lot of times religion and spirituality is about a sense of community.
Yeah.
It's, that's what I think really, we talked to, we could probably get into this a little bit later, but, you see the rise of the mega church,
Mm-hmm.
where people are driving, hours, 2-3 hours to go to a large 20,000 person church. And I don't know. I think, the place that religion and the church in general stood in the community is that you'd have, a couple churches per community. People would meet there, they'd, talk about things, and it's kind of like a public square almost. And it's interesting.
As a kid, we lived a block away from the church. And it got to a point where, like you're into this with a peer group, that you're getting ready for your communion and this and that and the other. And then after that spirit is within you, and you try to follow certain things, And for me, it was like whatever I felt that it was necessary to go to confession and all of that. I went through the ritual of going to the church and waiting and the whole thing. And then one day I found the priest outside, and I said, Father, I want for you to hear my confession. And the guy says, put his, whatever he had, like a rosary. And he says, go ahead, kneel down and tell me. And I found that to be like, wait a minute, this is not the rules, It's supposed to be inside, being the curtain, the whole thing, So then I learned that, you need to actually put your own spin on things while being good. We'll be right back.
Hello, this is Chef Ava, superfood mom and healthy food educator. It is my passion and joy to share with you all I have learned as a professional chef over the years. Come visit me in the virtual kitchen as we live stream together. My online live stream class experience is where you'll be able to ask me direct questions and receive answers as I share new recipes and techniques. To register and stay current on what cooking classes I'm offering, Visit my bio on Instagram at AVA5 TAR and click on my link tree to see the current schedule and how to register. Tap on the Chef's Feed live stream button and sign up for my very next class. That's AVA5 TAR on my Instagram page under Linktree. Once again, to register for my live stream online cooking classes you can take from the convenience of your home, visit AVA5 TAR on Instagram and click my Linktree. Keep cooking, and I'll see you in the kitchen.
Let's talk about your credit cards. When you first start using them, it's a slow drip. You make charges, then more charges, then bills come, and they keep coming. When you open your statements, the floodgates come pouring in. You realize you have more credit card debt than you can afford, and you're barely making the minimum payments. Wouldn't it be nice to make one affordable payment and have all your credit card bills covered? Make this free call and learn our responsible way to get your credit card bills paid and under control.
Sponsored by Consumer Education Services, a nonprofit organization.
800-876-3643. 800-876-3643. 800-876-3643. That's 800-876-3643.
CESI is not a loan company. The establishment of a debt management plan may adversely affect your credit rating. Non-payment of debt may lead creditors to increase finance and other charges to undertake collection activity, including liquidation.
Tired of lockdown? Let the reconnect begin. You belong here. Welcome home to the magic of Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante in Fullerton, California. Check out our new spacious outdoor dining al fresco. Romantic, market lights. It looks like a movie set. Dine under the stars and enjoy our tasty Angelo's and Vinci's pizza, pasta, seafood, chicken, salad dinners, and more. In the cool of the evening, come enjoy our award-winning menu, new wine list, specialty cocktails like our peach Bellini martini, appetizers, and more. Angelo's and Vinci's now open every day from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. for relaxing outdoor dining. No reservations needed. Just come on in for delicious Italian food. Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante, 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton. Call 714-879-4022. We're going to need a lot of pasta to get through this year. Come to Angelo's and Vinci's at 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton today.
We are back, and thank you for joining me at Lifestyle Buzz with your pal Orly and my good friend Mike. Moving here, there are many ways to celebrate, like we mentioned, Holy Week. And while many people spend a lot of time just in quiet mode, observing peace, I guess. There are other places like in Guatemala. In Guatemala, they build these sawdust carpets in the main cities. Have you ever seen those?
I haven't seen them, no, but I've read about them. Yeah.
Oh, they are fantastic, fantastic. Like we said a little while ago, there are people that actually take it too seriously and actually hurt themselves. Flog themselves. I guess those are the big sinners. I'm trying. In Guatemala, what they do is they make carpets in different colors, and they are artistic beyond artistic. They are wonderful. Actually, it's something that I probably would, once we are open again for travel, I would love to be able to put like a Holy Week visit to Guatemala just to witness this. Plus, the fact is that in Guatemala, you go to Chichicastenango, and there's the Church of Santo Tomas, which is a Catholic church. But the entire area is Indian.
Indigenous, yeah.
Indigenous. So they have the priest doing the mass, and right next to the priest is a shaman. And talk about bringing life together. It's amazing. It's amazing. Then at the end of the mass and the rituals and all of that, they walk to the steps, the 9 steps, and they have the incense, and the shaman does the water. So people have learned to live together and still be different.
Not only that, but exactly, very well said, Orlando. But also sometimes you see this a melding of those two spiritual systems. You see this a lot in the southern United States and also in the Caribbean, where you have a mix of Catholicism and a mix of Santeria, or a mix of Catholicism and a mix of more indigenous Creole. And you see, like in Mexico too, like the Day of the Dead is kind of like a Aztec, also Catholic kind of melding, and that's really interesting.
You know what? I think that people that live in that world, okay, and I have actually been there many times. So in a sense, I have spent in a year's time maybe 6 different visits to those areas. It teaches you. It teaches you not to be critical. It teaches you to just be there and get engulfed into all of this mixture. All of a sudden, you don't see one side or the other. You're just there, in the overall, and you come out a lot fuller of the heart, So, I don't know if I ever told you that I have a tattoo of a quetzal in my back. And one day I was in Chichicastenango, and in Guatemala, the quetzal is the national bird. So I was wearing this little tank top where you could see the quetzal, you could see the tattoo, and kids kept on coming, indigenous kids kept on coming and touching me, and they would say something in their language, which is called quiche, whatever, and they would run. And then other people would come back, and then some ladies, they come over, they touch me, and they would run too. So a little while later, I guess the word got out, go touch the quetzal man or whatever. And the guy that we had from the government came over, and he says, "What do you have on your back? What is it you have?" So I showed him, and he goes, "No wonder." He says, "This entire, in the marketplace, they're passing the word that for luck, they should come and touch you because you represent the quetzal, which is their holy bird." So there you have it. In Guatemala, I'm a holy man because of my quetzal. Here, the people just look at it and they go like, "Okay, nice bird." I've been asked what kind of eagle it is, but all right. So we're moving right along. Let's take a little bit of a break. We'll be right back.
For the best food, drinks, and fun, come to the Ramp Bar and Grill in Burbank, California. Open Monday through Saturday from 4 to 9 p.m. Happy hour from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. $5 margaritas. Start with great mouth-watering char-broiled chicken nachos, cheesy garlic bread, the best in town, steamed clams, buffalo wings and onion rings, the best soups and salads, seafood specialties like calamari, shrimp scampi, fresh salmon, filet of sole, halibut, trout, sand dabs, and more. Steaks? Yum. Ribeye, filet, even prime rib, the best burgers in town, too. And enjoy our complete Italian menu. Ravioli, lasagna, linguine, tortellini, fettuccine, spaghetti, sausage and peppers, capellini, pomodoro, chicken parmesan, and more. And don't forget our homemade cheesecakes and desserts. All at the Ramp Bar and Grill, 7730 North Hollywood Way, minutes from the airport in Burbank, California. Call 818-768-6499. Takeout and delivery by Postmates, too. The Ramp. Don't miss it. The Ramp in Burbank.
Attention real estate investors. Do you need cash immediately? If you own one or multiple rental properties, you can use your equity to get cash out fast. The best part is we don't need tax returns or even a good credit score. At America's Loan Source, we are not a bank and we don't have bank rules. We make the decisions to loan you money, and there's no limit how much we can give you. Some clients have gotten as much as $500,000 or more within days. Use the money any way you want. If you own one rental property or 100 and COVID has left you in a cash crunch, we can help you turn your equity into fast cash. Call now for details and close in as little as 10 days and get the cash you need. 800-353-1760. 800-353-1760. 800-353-1760. That's 800-353-1760.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
When you invest, what do you need? Investors need foresight and prediction so they can invest with confidence. Is the stock market going up and down? What about precious metals or Bitcoin? The stock market may be treading water right now, but now may be a more opportune time to invest in precious metals. Are gold and silver booming? What do you buy? Bullion? Mining stocks? Which ones? The cryptocurrency market is also advancing strongly, but which ones do you buy? John Truman Wolfe, former banker and #1 best-selling author, gives you the answers in his widely read newsletter, Strategic Financial Intelligence, available at strategicfinancialintelligence.com. Wolfe called the breakout of the gold market and the breakout of the silver market. He may not have a crystal ball, but his investment picks tell a story. Metals and digital currencies are on the move. Don't miss out. Go to strategicfinancialintelligence.com and get the Strategic Financial Intelligence newsletter today. strategicfinancialintelligence.com.
All right, we are back, and we are heading into the segment for sports. Are you a sports fan?
I am, big time. Yeah, for sure.
What do you think about this move by the Major League Baseball to...
Well, of course, for listeners that don't know, the Major League Baseball has moved their annual All-Star game out of Atlanta, Georgia, in response to some new voting regulations that the Georgia state legislature is considering right now. And according to the Major League Baseball, this had nothing to do with the players. The players were not involved in this decision. This was solely based on Major League Baseball itself and its corporate sponsor partners.
Right.
So, quite honestly, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with whatever a private business wants to do. I mean, it's not in violation of the law. I think that if Major League, and this is my own personal opinion, and my opinion doesn't reflect this show, nor does it reflect CRN's opinion about this, but I think that if Major League Baseball wants to take a stand on access for voting, it's completely within their rights, Orlando.
Well, I mean, so are you... Well, let's put it this way. Do you agree that there is a bias in voting?
I think, in my personal opinion, I think we should make it easier for people to vote rather than harder.
No, you know what? That is right on the money. I believe that. The only thing is that why not then just have a national ID card?
Because the voting is not a trans. You often hear this argument that you need an ID to fly. You need an ID to do certain things, but those are commercial transactions. I think voting is, it's sacrosanct, it's protected, it's constantly protected. And
okay, so I mean, I agree with that. Where I come from, I hold dual citizenship. Okay, and if I go to Costa Rica, my cédula, my ID card is there. It's been like that forever and ever. It doesn't do anything, but for commercial transactions, if I want to buy a house, if I want to buy a car, to get a passport, to get, whatever it takes, you have to have it. The same in Mexico, the same in all of Latin America, everywhere, okay? So my question has always been, why not here? I mean, the fact is that people say, well, people can get a passport. Fine, but not everybody travels.
Yeah.
Not everybody travels, You need an ID to open a bank account. Just about everybody has a bank account. So, at one point, there is an ID. The most holy event that can happen or the most respected, important event that can happen in a nation is the voting, is the election of officials. So why not have an ID? Like for me, I came here from Costa Rica as a kid. I didn't even have an ID then, but now I do. I don't see anything that's hurting anybody. The word is that, well, certain minorities will not be able to get it. Why not?
Well, not necessarily minorities either. I mean, you see this a lot with the elderly. I mean, for example, when my grandmother, she stopped driving in her mid-70s and lived to be 89. And so she didn't find it really necessary. I mean, she already had everything set up anyway. She didn't really find it necessary to, renew her driver's license or anything like that. She was well past the age where she would travel, but she was still politically engaged. Regarding a national voter ID, that's a little bit tricky, Orlando, because you probably, I'm sure, heard about HR 1. HR 1, of course, for our listeners, is a bill right now in front of the United States House of Representatives and Senate, which would federalize the election process. And I disagree with that, Orlando, and I think that this is the same stumbling block that a national voter ID would have. According to the Constitution, the election and how those elections are both conducted and all the logistics are the purview of the states, not the federal government.
The thing is like this HR 1, though, I'll be honest. I've heard about it. I have not actually read it, so I don't know if I'm like off kilter.
So HR 1, what it would do is it would pretty much find the most liberal, and I'm using not the term liberal politically, but liberal in terms of access. It would impose the most liberal kinds of voting access nationwide. It would take, as it stands now, each election, if we have an election here in California, for presidents, a nationwide election, that is still monitored and all the logistics is provided by the state itself. All the different, that's why you have different protocols state to state. Like in New York, you don't have no fault absentee voting. In California, you do, and it's a hodgepodge of different kind of protocols from state to state, and that's what this says in the Constitution, and that's the purview of the states. So I think HR 1 flies in the face of that, and I think it's I'm a liberal guy, but also I'm a big states' rights guy.
Right.
And so, I still think that, my personal politics is I believe that we should have, more access to voting than less, but also I think it should be up to the states. And so, if Georgia wants to do, something really restrictive in their state legislature, passes it. I mean, people voted for them. So, this is representational democracy of the states. That's fine. Just as it's fine for if MLB wants to pull their game out of there. So, if one state wants to have, harsher or, more, I shouldn't use the word harsher, but more stringent protocols to avoid fraud, that's fine. If another state wants to have more open protocols, it's fine too, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You said something that you're liberal. I think that everybody. I'm a conservative, okay, but by the same token, I'm like a modern conservative because I'm not the far right type of a guy, you know. I'm a capitalist at heart. I believe in, you know, the dollar. Yet I also believe that I have lived long enough in a mixture of peoples and places where I have a lot of liberalism in me too. So we all have that, you know. That division really, I don't know that it flies anymore.
I think that's the problem with modern politics. Is I think almost everybody out there has liberal qualities and conservative policies, but people are just so like, well, I'm a conservative, and so I have to follow the orthodoxy. But I think just like you, Orlando, it's very well said, very nuanced perspective where it's about the issues, not necessarily about what tribe you're part of.
All right. So are we almost there? Oh my goodness! Commercial time. We'll be right back.
For the getaway of your dreams, come to Hawaii's Playground, Ka'anapali Beach Resort, on the fun side of Maui, where the world comes to play. Find your spot on Ka'anapali Beach with 3 miles of white sand, 12 resort properties, 2 golf courses, and 2 shopping centers. Enjoy the playground of Hawaii's ancient royalty. Ka'anapali Beach Resort is Hawaii's original master planned destination resort and home of the Hawaii Food and Wine Festival. With views of 2 neighboring islands, you can breathe in the land's natural beauty from your favorite resort or golf fairway. Come experience Ka'anapali's own special brand of Hawaiian hospitality with world-class dining, relaxing resorts, water sports, and activities of every kind. For romantic, family, and great friend getaways, discover the options of Ka'anapali Beach Resort, where the world comes to play. Plan your getaway today. Visit Ka'anapaliResort.com. That's KAANAPALI Resort.com.
Do you want to fly somewhere, anywhere in the world? Smart travelers call myflightsearch.com for the best deals on flight tickets. Going to Manila, Bangkok, London, how about Singapore? Call myflightsearch.com for the lowest flight tickets available. What about a local vacation? Let's say you want to fly to Vegas, Orlando, Miami, Los Angeles, or Denver. Pick up the phone and call myflightsearch.com right now. We have exclusive deals that you can't find anywhere else. The only way you can get these low airline prices is by calling us. We have so many low prices available, we can't possibly tell them to you right here and now. If you're flying somewhere anytime in the next 6 months and you want the lowest airline ticket prices anywhere, you owe it to yourself to save a ton of money. So pick up your cell phone and call myflightsearch.com right now.
Call 800-445-3166. 800-445-3166. That's 800-445-3166. Call now. 800-445-3166.
All right, we are back, and we're continuing with the topic of baseball. The reason why I feel uncomfortable with this entire movement and stuff is I'm not into the politics of things, and I think that politics do not belong in sports because, you and I can be friends. We can go to a sports bar, and you can be rooting for the Lakers while I root for the Timberwolves, whatever. And it doesn't make us enemies. It makes us sports fans. So when you bring politics into the mix of sports, I think you're basically telling half of the fans, we don't need you. Am I...
Well, I would a little bit take issue with the premise of that. I also think that politics can be civil as well. I also think that, you could have politics in the realm of sports, and you don't need to still be civil and, not punch each other over it either. I mean, you and I disagree about a lot of things politically, but we still get along like peanut butter and chocolate. So, I mean... I going back to what I said before about how, politics has become so tribal, and that's, and like, for example, I had a dear relative pass away yesterday, and thank you. And I was speaking to another relative who was, I'm sorry to hear about Uncle Johnny, but, it's hard for me to feel too bad about him because he was such a Trump supporter. And I got really mad at this person.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, I mean, I don't like Trump as much as the next guy, but I mean, to bemoan somebody's death, you know, after somebody's death about their political affiliation, I thought is the height of egotism and narcissism. And, you know, you just suppose that against sports too. I mean, like if the MLB wants to move their All-Star game, a game that doesn't even count, by the way, a game that's not even that fun to watch to begin with. And if you're going to, you know, boycott the MLB and never watch it again over that, I mean, who cares? I mean, who cares? I mean, life goes on. I mean, take pleasure where it is, you know, just be with your family. I mean, see with your friends, have discussions like you and I have about the issues, and, you know, we can disagree and not be disagreeable. And there's so many more important things, you know, and I have a mantra that I always kind of try to follow when it comes to politics, you know, because I work at CRN. I mean, we have a lot of conservative stuff, and I'm a little guy. And my whole thing is like, it's oftentimes better to be happy than it is to be right. I mean, people who always, you see this on Facebook a lot too, people who are always trying to be right and trying to, you know, win the argument and all that. I mean, how happy are they really?
You know what? You're right in that regards, but this is my question has always been, where did we lose touch with reality? Okay, because we just went through an election. Okay, fine. Elections here, they take forever. I mean, like two years of the same humdrum thing over and over and over and over. Everywhere else, they're 6 months over and done with. Boom, people get elected, go home. Here is a long-term thing. So I remember that I used to have Trump stickers like to put in my car. Not that I ever put anything on my car. I don't like to do that. But if it was my option whether to put it on or not. But it became an issue of, do I want to have my car destroyed because of a paper sticker? I know who I'm going to vote for. But, you know, I don't need to get into an argument with people. On the first, long time ago with the Bush, I put a Bush sticker on the side of my car at the time there. I'm driving, splat! Look, there's a big egg on the glass because somebody threw an egg on the Bush sticker. And I'm like, in all reality, I don't see, maybe there are, but I just happen not to see followers of the other party being threatened or being told anything or being thrown anything at by my party, you know? So
well, yeah, but it's also, I mean, you live in California. I mean, if you live in California and you're running around with a Trump sticker, or in your case, a Bush sticker back then, yeah, that's going to happen, and that's terrible. But also, I mean, if you lived in Macon, Georgia, or if you lived in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and you're running around with a Bernie sign on your car, probably the same thing's going to happen to you, too. It's just the nature of the beast.
Yeah, no, I mean, politics is, and I grew up in the politics world with my grandfather. Oh, my God. And I had two uncles that were like bitter enemies. During the politics season, one belonged to one party and the other one belonged to the other party. And the families just went, they used to live side by side. And politics season started and they went, they didn't talk to each other. I mean, the next day after whoever got elected, let's have dinner, and everything went back to normal. You know.
Yeah, well, I mean, for a long time, it was considered kind of rude to talk about politics.
Yeah,
I mean, it just wasn't done.
That I find that a little bit strange that right now.
Oh, I should qualify that. It wasn't polite to talk politics in mixed company. Like behind closed doors with your family, it's a whole different story. But
yeah. Now it's become like the topic, the only topic. I mean, that's all you hear.
Yeah.
So I think we need to really start getting it, like what I call reality world, which means I'm not saying that everybody's crazy or anything else. Reality world is a balanced world. I believe that people should accept who they're dealing with. Leave it alone. Just enjoy the company.
Yeah.
Enjoy the moment.
Be happy.
Be happy. We'll be right back.
spring forward at Banana Republic Factory with 50 to 70% off everything. Shop season favorites from colorful dresses to easy tops from $19.99. Find your nearest store or shop online only at Banana Republic Factory. Enjoy 50 to 70% off almost everything at Gap Factory and gapfactory.com. Shop tees from $6.99 and joggers from $24.99. Plus extra 15% off online. Exclusions apply. Shop the sale through April 6th.
Let's talk about your credit cards. When you first start using them, it's a slow drip. You make charges, then more charges, then bills come, and they keep coming. When you open your statements, the floodgates come pouring in. You realize you have more credit card debt than you can afford, and you're barely making the minimum payments. Wouldn't it be nice to make one affordable payment and have all your credit card bills covered? Make this free call and learn our responsible way to get your credit card bills paid and under control.
Sponsored by Consumer Education Services, a nonprofit organization.
800-876-3643. 800-876-3643. 800-876-3643. That's 800-876-3643.
CESI is not a loan company. The establishment of a debt management plan may adversely affect your credit rating. Non-payment of debt may lead creditors to increase finance and other charges to undertake collection activity, including liquidation.
Tired of lockdown? Let the reconnect begin. You belong here. Welcome home to the magic of Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante in Fullerton, California. Check out our new spacious outdoor dining al fresco. Romantic. Market lights. It looks like a movie set. Dine under the stars and enjoy our tasty Angelo's and Vinci's pizza, pasta, seafood, chicken, salad dinners, and more. In the cool of the evening, come enjoy our award-winning menu, new wine list, specialty cocktails like our peach Bellini martini, appetizers, and more. Angelo's and Vinci's now open every day from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. for relaxing outdoor dining. No reservations needed. Just come on in for delicious Italian food. Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante, 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton. Call 714-879-4022. We're going to need a lot of pasta to get through this year. Come to Angelo's and Vinci's at 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton today.
Guys, we need to clear a path here.
Indeed knows unexpected employee turnover can stall your business.
Sounds like tonight. John!
Like at Chris's Logistics Company. To avoid things grinding to a halt, he needs to get started hiring right away.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. And the moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first sponsored job post. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, we are back, and man, time flies. But anyway, Mike made a really good point about the fact that we need to spend more time finding happiness. And happiness only happens if you have an open mind, okay? Don't let things just go by because you don't feel like finding out the truth, okay? I'll give you a really quick example here. In the 1980s, A&W Root Beer wanted to compete with McDonald's on the quarter pounder, and they came out with a third pounder that was better tasting, better quality, the whole thing, and priced a lot lower than the McDonald's quarter pounder. And it was a flop. You know why?
Why?
Because people felt that a third pounder was shortchanging them. Because why would they pay for less?
Wait, a third is more than a quarter, isn't it?
That is exactly the point that I'm trying to make. People have never found out that actually a third means a third of a pound divided in 3, quarter of a pound is divided in 4, thus the portions are smaller. Nobody found that out, and A&W Beer, Root Beer, had to cancel the project because people just did not quite understand it. And they, worse than anything, they didn't know how to explain it, which is one of the keys that I always tell people when I approach them about doing advertising and stuff like that, is we're not after just the charges for the minute. We are trying to sell on the fact that we can create a event for products here. So that's I thought that was a fun fact to share. People just didn't quite understand, and sometimes people don't quite understand why it's necessary to put your hand out there in a sign of friendship and see what happens. You know, you always have to open the door, and don't wait, because you may be missing out on something very wonderful. Okay, so information about the show. You want to send a suggestion? You want to send questions? Anything? Email me at lifestylebuzztoday@gmail.com or go through my website at lifestylebuzz.today. Information about travel, info@journeysbysilverfox.com or www.journeysbysilverfox.com. And for my beautiful, super friendly people, baby boomers, babyboomergen.com, or send me an email at bboomergen@gmail.com. Michael, last words.
Happy Easter to everybody out there. I hope everybody out there is having a great day. If you celebrate, enjoy that ham. It makes a really good sandwich the next day. We'd celebrate Easter, we wouldn't do ham. We would do usually lamb on Easter.
You know, it's really funny because I love lamb. Nobody else in my family does. So consequently, no lamb. But now I found an ally, my son-in-law.
He likes it?
Yeah, he likes it. So we need to, buy a couple of chops and enjoy.
Or what about lamb shanks? Braised lamb shanks?
Ooh, any shank. Any shank.
Pork shanks?
Oh,
stop it.
Yeah. No. I think we're going to have a party, Mike, and
you know what we should do is we should just bring a grill, and we should just, while we're doing our show, we should just, grill some steaks and
one of those big tomahawks.
Yeah, there you go.
Sounds good to me. Hey, listen, be good to each other. Have a good time. Enjoy yourselves. Be friendly. Leave nothing but footsteps of your travels. See you next week. Bye-bye.